listening to Pop This, the podcast where three women talk about pop culture. Here are your hosts, Lisa Christiansen, Andrea Gin, and Andrea Warner.
So do you ever go like to make a big effort to do something and then the results are super disappointing and think there should be a word for that? Because it's not. Yeah.
All the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Letdown doesn't really cover it.
Yeah. No, because there's got to be something about the word that has to do with the preparation that you think this is going to be great. And yes, I am speaking about my red curried tofu this evening.
I was going to say, I know this is related to cooking because that's what frustrates me so much about cooking too, is that it often takes hours to do everything if you include like buying your ingredients and the prep time and everything like that. And just like when it's a disappointment or you don't like it after spending like 3 or 4 hours making something, it is so disappointing and you feel like you've wasted so much time.
Well, to be fair to the recipe, I cut up a couple of shallots, I think 3 shallots for this dish. And then when I looked back at my phone with the open Pinterest recipe on it, I saw it said a cup of shallots. And I went, I chose a recipe that requires a cup of who's got time to cut a cup of shallots? How long will that take?
Yeah.
I mean, at least they don't make your eyes water
So
as much as
long.
an onion. That is ridiculous. They're so hard to peel. Who does that?
Yeah, I know. Same with pearl onions.
Yeah.
I can't do recipes with pearl onions because I can't peel those things.
Well, you could buy those frozen, though.
Yeah, I know you can buy them frozen.
Yeah.
But
Little cheat there for you. But still, I made this whole dish. And also, I did not have any fresh ginger, so I used powdered. And didn't want to cut up a cup of shallots, so used red pepper instead. Also did not have the same chili sauce and put sriracha in. So perhaps...
Wow. So I'm sorry. You did everything not to make what you were gonna make.
There is a chance now that I say it out loud that the recipe could have been quite good if only I had done what it said. I'm thinking about all of the things now that I cheated on. I think I had the tofu. Yes, check. I had a couple of shallots, check. And there was some red curry paste. And that's about all the things that I got right, I think, in the recipe. So maybe I'm being a little too hard on it. I ate it. But I had that feeling that, you know, when you go to someone's house for dinner and they're not the best cook and they'll say something like, oh, this just didn't work out. And you're like,
I can see where you were going with it. That's sometimes what I've said to people.
Have you?
I just find it hard. I find it hard to just outright lie if I'm not enjoying something.
Yeah.
I often feel a lot of sympathy for people who write recipes and post them on the internet, and then you see like below it, there's like dozens of comments where people, not unlike Lisa, have maybe like changed things. They didn't have things. They tweaked the recipe and it just like didn't work out. And they're like asking all these questions and giving the recipe bad reviews. But like it's like what's included is not like where they strayed off the recipe along the way.
No, and they're always saying things like, and I substituted chocolate chips for lumps of coal or something.
Yeah.
There's some need to cut sugar out of cookie recipes, which I do not understand. If you're making the cookie, make the goddamn cookie.
I agree.
Yeah, or they'll say that I substituted in coal and it tasted way better.
Yeah.
I love those comments too.
Yeah. Is it? Or my favorite comment is always, and my husband doesn't even like vegetables, and he gobbled this thing up. He's just such a baby about vegetables. That is so many comments in. Actually, I there must be some sort of place where people go just to laugh at recipe comments. Hey.
Oh, I'm sure there must be. Like, there's got to be like a whole Reddit channel for that.
Because they are an art form. Some of them, they are so funny.
But also, like, some recipes are just, I don't know, wildly, like, presumptuous about what common knowledge is.
Speaking as someone who, like, has avoided cooking for most of her life.
Oh, like I never cook. And I am exactly the person who's just like, oh, I don't have vanilla? Okay, I'll use like oh my God, what did I replace it with? Some kind of like fun Tennessee bullet whiskey. They were delicious, by the way. But
oh, you're that person.
If I don't have it, I'm not like, and I cook so rarely or bake so rarely that like chances are I don't have whatever is in the recipe. And I don't have an expectation that it's going to taste exactly as sort of the recipe sort of indicates. I also am one of those people who often thinks there's too many chocolate chips in a chocolate chip cookie recipe.
Who thinks that? You just put the whole bag in.
That's disgusting. Disgusting. I like a very low key amount of chocolate in my chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, no, not me. No.
I do.
Get that in there. I want at least 6 in each bite.
I would rather have 2 nuts to every chocolate chip. That's my preferred
I want
ratio.
the nuts too, and there's no.
I know, but everyone always puts too much chocolate and not enough nuts.
I don't think that's ever been said. That's
here I am saying it.
You are saying something that has never been uttered before. It's like those people that say there's too much cheese. Also not a thing.
It's also not a thing. I agree with you. Do you know what Carlos did the other day that I had never seen him do before? And I was just like...
Given your penchant for telling us way too much than we don't...
It's not sexual. Unless you feel a certain sexual way about a little disc of fried mozzarella. Which actually, you know what? Maybe I do. But anyway, he was making a grilled cheese sandwich. And I came in the kitchen and he was like... And I was like, what's in the pan? He's like, oh, it's just like a little extra piece of mozzarella that I didn't put in the sandwich. So I'm frying it in like the frying pan. I was like, what? You fry up little teeny pieces of cheese and just eat them privately?
Oh, yes. Yes.
We've been married for like 12 years. I've never seen this. I didn't know because I don't go in the kitchen because he does all the cooking. So I didn't know that he had secret fried cheese times by himself. And so I ate half of it, and it was delicious.
Oh, yeah,
just like
no kidding.
Super thin little fried piece of mozzarella. Decadent.
See, I have a problem with the halloumi cheese. I make it
I love
so
the halloumi.
much. Oh, my gosh. Right now, I'm just thinking about it, and that's all I want.
You know what? The first place I ever really fell in love with halloumi cheese was in Andrea Gin's backyard.
Oh.
Well, we used to live in the traditional Greek neighborhood of Vancouver, so we had access to this Greek grocery store called the Parthenon, and we used to sort of lean into that every time we had people over and do kind of like a Mediterranean
you can't go wrong
style food, which is like
that is by far my favorite food in the world. Mediterranean
or grilled halloumi?
That it's included, isn't it?
Both. Okay.
Yeah anything you can put olive oil and lemons all over and fry, I'm in.
Delicious. My other favorite cheese, I know this isn't like a cheese or cooking show.
Podcast?
But let's just chat about it for a second. My other favorite cheese is a cheese that I was introduced to, I believe, by our friend. I think we're all friends with her, Zoe Grams. Or it could have been our other friend, Anne-Marie Spicer. Anyway, one of those two introduced me to champagne cheddar. Have you had champagne cheddar?
No. Where do you?
Oh my God, it's
this?
so good. You can get it at Whole Foods, or you can get it at Granville Island at like one of the cheese shops, and it has like it's like a really rich aged cheddar with a green plastic rind, or like a green sort of like that waxy rind. And you don't eat the waxy rind, you just eat the cheddar, and it's so good. And because it's like old and sort of
noting that.
I just, don't eat the waxy
Don't
rind.
eat the wax.
I want to treat everyone as if they have never set foot in a kitchen ever.
Isn't that the title of your memoir?
Never set foot in a kitchen ever?
No, don't eat the waxy rind.
Oh, don't eat the waxy rind.
Yeah, and more honestly, lessons.
Both work. We came up with another one like several weeks ago that was like much more blood focused. So I guess it's probably don't eat the waxy rind as an improvement on salability, depending on who I want my audience to be. Anyway.
I don't think it's a bad idea for you to write a cooking memoir.
It'll be more of a novella, but
I feel it will be like quite a short novella.
Maybe a pamphlet.
You know what? Maybe it's just one of those things where like I decide to also really embrace, my stick figure drawings, and so it's more of a comic.
Yeah, one of those a flip book, more really.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that's an underserved corner of the cookbook market, is just like people who have barely set foot in a kitchen.
I agree with you. I think I agree with you in principle.
You could do that Carlos's fried mozzarella recipe.
Right?
It was apparently quite simple. But I have yet to recreate it myself, so we'll wait until I can do that. And then, because I think I would have to be able to make every recipe that I put in a cookbook for novices.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, given the success of Paris Hilton's cooking show, I feel that
didn't it just get canceled?
Yeah, well, it did make enough. It did make enough of a season, though.
Yeah, that's true. It got one season.
So, yes, exactly.
And I've always said, if Paris Hilton can do it, I can do it.
And yet another title for your memoir. But back when we were discussing cheese and food, I honestly thought you were going to leap into, as a segue, into our episode today.
Well, I was, and then we got a little bit sidetracked. But this is good too. I like this. I can't wait to talk about cheese and food and scarcity and blood. I'm Andrea Warner.
I'm Lisa Christiansen.
I'm Andrea Gin.
And you're listening to Pop This. And what a show. Oh my God. I've been hearing about it for a long time, little buzz everywhere. And so excited.
I was watching the first 2 episodes for this, and all I kept thinking is that Andrea Warner is going to freaking love this show.
Yeah.
This show was written for her.
And Lisa's going to say something like, I just don't understand why everyone has to be so mean to each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this really hits my sweet spot. I didn't know for sure that it would, but God, there's so many elements of it that I love so much. And we're talking about Yellowjackets.
Yes, we are.
And just to preface this episode, for those of you who have seen Yellowjackets and know that when we record, we make up screen names for ourselves, I just want to point out that Andrea Warner has chosen half perm, quarter glasses, quarter axe, all Misty as her screen name. I knew it. I knew you would be Team Misty as soon as I saw her character on screen.
It took me till the second episode to be fully Team Misty, because I'm also like pretty pro grown up Shauna, but when that girl just did what had to be done. And then we get to, so we're only talking about the first 2 episodes.
Did what had to be, that could, with her, that could describe so many things.
I'm specifically talking about the axe. When she just does the axe.
Not cauterizes the wound?
I mean, she had to do that too, but I mean.
I don't think I've stopped screaming in my head since I saw that.
Yeah, we both had nightmares last night from watching this show.
Yeah.
But I also say, like, just when we get to the end of episode 2, and then she does what does not have to be done. I was just like, Misty, why you gotta be like this? And I can't tell.
It's reassuring to know that for one person's hell is another person's heaven.
Well, that's the thing, you know, and it's so it's really I'm empathetic to what drives her and motivates her to a certain extent, insofar as I know about like her character. I don't know anything else yet, but like I was just very struck by I guess like when we're watching her sit around the circle and the others start to laugh and she's watching them to see like how she should be laughing. I was just like, this is fascinating. Is this character just like, is this character like neurodiverse? Is this character a sociopath? Is this character, does this character have like psychopathic tendencies? Is she just awkward and lonely? Like I don't have my full read yet, and I'm just fascinated.
Plus the hair.
And resourceful.
Yeah.
Plus, honestly, the other quote that there's like, so we always write an outline. So I chose, I took the Red Cross babysitting course twice as the outline for this, or like as the quote for this. But the other one was going to be escalators, knuckles, baked clams. What turns you on?
Oh yeah.
Knuckles? Oh my god, I almost died when she said knuckles. Anyway, all right. So we're talking about Yellowjackets, and
we should. We're gonna start over here. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just give a little background. So Yellowjackets is an American drama series created by Ashley Lyle and Bart Nickerson. The idea for the series was largely influenced by the Donner Party and the 1972 Andes flight disaster, both true stories about people who resorted to cannibalism to survive. So that's your warning for this show. In August 2017, Warner Brother Pictures announced an all-female adaptation of William Golding's Lord of the Flies, the novel about the young group of boys who are stranded on an island and their disastrous attempts to govern themselves. After reading the announcement, Ashley Lyle found that a lot of people were skeptical that young girls could descend into the same barbarism as young boys. So with that thought in mind, she conceived the idea for Yellowjackets with her husband, Bart Nickerson, as a, quote, metaphor for teenage hierarchy. Music to my ears, God. Lyle and Nickerson are credited as showrunners alongside Jonathan Lisco, who was brought to the series by executive producer Karen Kusama, who's the writer-director of Girl Fight, which was her writer-director debut in 2000.
Wow. All right, and I will take on the synopsis here. This is from Wikipedia. In 1996, a team of New Jersey high school soccer players traveled to Seattle for a national tournament. While flying over Canada, their plane crashes deep in the wilderness, and the remaining team members are left to survive for 19 months. The series chronicles their attempts to survive while also tracking their current lives in 2021. And here's a little more synopsis. This is from Allison Herman, writing for The Ringer. High school is hell. Now, imagine you took high school, cut it off from civilization, kept all the simmering social tensions, and stranded it in the wilderness for 19 months. That's the instantly enticing hook of Showtime's Yellowjackets, a show that's a little bit Lord of the Flies, a little bit Lost, and a lot Mean Girls. Following a girls' soccer team as they struggle to survive in the 90s and sort through their trauma today, Yellowjackets knows there's nothing scarier than a teenage girl pushed to the brink.
I love it. I love it so much. All right, we've talked enough about how I feel. Lisa, AG, tell us how you feel after the first 2 episodes.
It's good. I'm actually, I'll be honest, I'm on to episode 4 now, so I can't sort of stop. It's insanely dark. I did also get nightmares.
Yeah.
It is very bleak. It is modern days, not great for anybody at all. And we know I guess the worst part is knowing the cannibalism's coming, but it hasn't come yet, sort of. Well, you got some flashes of things that could be dream sequences or could be reality. We don't know yet.
I feel like we got some flashes of cannibalism in the first episode.
Yeah, but I don't know if those are dream sequences yet or if those are real.
Oh, I just assumed they were real. Sorry. Okay.
Well, then I don't understand why that girl is running in a nightie, though, through the snow. That seemed...
Well, because then she falls into the pit with the spike so that they can...
eat her.
Yeah.
No, I saw that, but I wasn't sure if we were watching a dream or...
I see.
That's all.
I see.
However, the very fact that they have to learn how to bleed things would tell me that it was true. Was that what you were thinking too?
Yeah. Well, I just figure that like they're wearing all these animal pelts, and so they might not. So they've obviously learned how to.
In 19 months, you're making pelts? I would figure they would take a lot longer to dry out.
I don't know the accuracy for pelt drying. I just...
I feel like it would take longer to learn how to A, do it, B, kill that many animals, and C, fashion them into clothing.
I don't think so because, well, at least in terms of sort of learning how to kill them, because I think they didn't have any food. They'd be out of food within a couple days. Like they're already fighting about corn nuts at the end of their first night, right? So like they got to sort of get their brains around the food rationing and the food survivalist kind of stuff.
Sure.
Like I would assume if you're completely, utterly alone and there's nothing around you, plus animals are coming for you, because I would assume the animals, they're interrupting the landscape, like these humans. It's the natural habitat of these animals. Like you'd probably have to like get it together pretty fast.
I'm just curious as to how long it takes a pelt to dry out. It feels like it should take a long time, especially in a moist climate.
I mean, honestly, great questions. Like, I was going to tell you guys that I just found out tonight that the Yellowjackets creators are doing a talk that's free via VIF next week that's like remote. And so it comes out, or the talk is at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and our episodes usually come out like in the morning on the same day. And so I think we should all go to it before we record the podcast next week, and we can maybe ask this pelt question, like in person, or remotely, anyways. Because I think like it would be wonderful to find out a bit more about their research methodologies and like, you know.
It's okay. So this is an easy thing to Google. It says skin may be dried to the touch in as little as 1 hour for weasels and 10 hours for coyotes.
Wow. Okay. So you're like a bear.
So within
like
10 hours, you can you're already got the skin.
It can take anywhere from a few days to a week.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Okay. Corrected then.
Great.
Okay.
Great. Okay. Cool.
Good to know. I would like to think they would research something like that, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they. Yeah. But I mean, you know, honestly, incredible. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so I interrupted you, Lisa, and I also then didn't even...
No. I just, I'm filled with all kinds of bleakness and sadness, and yet I'm intrigued and I can't look away. I think it is great, just God, to see girls and women and things, and to see them all being very dark and awful and complicated and frustrated and complex. So, you know, you can't really ask for more. And it's not just about teenage girls, it's about adult women as well. It's about real people. It's about surviving, which, you know, is one of those terms we like to throw around a bit, you know, maybe a little bit too much in the world. I'm just surviving. Well, no, like we're literally watching people try to survive.
Yeah.
I am more than just intrigued to find out, like I have to know now. And it is a weird thing that you know that like there's enough foreshadowing all the time that you know some real dark stuff went down. And so you're just waiting. And I think that's a tremendous feeling to have watching the show.
Yeah, I when you're watching it, you're kind of like doing these mental calculations, like who do we see in the future and who don't we see?
Exactly.
Yeah, who gets eaten and who doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and I was going to say, we're only following the adult lives of 4 women.
Yeah.
And is that because that's all that survived, or is that just because we're focusing on these 4?
Question.
That's the question.
That's
We don't
the question.
know. Yeah.
And I love that week after week we go back to that. AG, what is your opinion of it?
So, I like basically watched the first 2 episodes, and intermittently it was just like screaming in my head at various things that were happening. But can I tell you a story about my high school? That, okay, this is the first time I screamed in my head because in high school, in gym class, we were doing soccer, and I don't know how to play soccer. I'm not that athletic. But yeah, and it was all like girls. It was like we were divided into like gender for gym class when I went to high school. And so it was just a bunch of girls playing soccer. And I decided, at one point in this like running around that I was going to like participate and go and kick the ball. And because it was coming towards me. And so I did a bit of a run up. And at the same time, this other girl, Jenny, came running from the opposite direction. And we both like took a kick at the ball. And I guess like she was an actual like athlete and soccer player, and she kind of like did a slide and tried to kick it, and I just like ended up kicking her leg, and like she ended up having a fracture. Which
you
is
pulled
so
a tie on.
Super shocking because like she was like an actual athlete in school.
Did she get to continue to play, or was it a career-ending injury?
Well, I don't think she was like an actual soccer athlete. But she did other sports, and yeah, she had to like take time off from other sports.
Wow.
Oh, look at you, Bruiser.
So you were really identifying with Ty.
I was totally unscathed. Like nothing happened to me.
Wow. I mean, one time when I played field hockey, I took out Lynn's knee with the hockey stick. And she had to miss PE for like a couple days, but I didn't break anything.
I have not maimed anyone in any sporting event. I apologize for not being able to join in.
No, that's probably good. I cracked my own middle finger trying to catch a football from my sister twice.
I, however, was on a school field trip, and we did crash, and I did eat a person, though.
Wow, what a show off. And also, way to hold on to that until it was really relevant for the pod.
Well, there we all were sharing our relatability of this Yellowjackets, and I thought it would be wrong of me not to share that.
But so incredible. Like it's just like all of these like I just find it so horrifying and terrifying, and also just like there's some really black moments like that you like black comedy where like they try to help their teammate escape from her seat and then give up and run out of the plane. And then she ends up making it out on her own. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, I'm still here kind of thing.
And she's just like Van is just glaring at Jackie and Shauna like forever. Oh gosh, it's so
Well, it's because like in the that moment was so amazing because like, as viewers we're trained to sort of just assume that she burns up in the explosion and she doesn't make it out and they're going to feel guilty about it for the rest of their lives. But yeah, just to see her just kind of emerge kind of a little bit charred, blackened by smoke a little.
It's charred. Just walk it off.
Yeah, I like a number of people have survived. Like once the crash happens, we see that like a number of people have survived, including girls we barely know the names of. so far, so I'm guessing like those are the first eaten ultimately. You can sort of just do a little guesswork as to who's on the menu first, And I'm being very cavalier because I can't think about this in like a real situation right now. Also, you're probably gonna eventually like run at it. Oh my God, I can't even believe I have to like, I'm sorry. I don't want to think about it, but because I find cannibalism ultra gross. Like
Do you?
That's so
weird,
unusual.
Right?
That's
it's weird, right?
Huh.
Like it's
okay.
just like immediately sort
real
of like,
distinguishing.
Yeah.
Feature.
So different than the rest of the people on the podcast with you.
Yeah,
right?
I'm anti-cannibalism and sexual violence. What a radical feminist I am.
Okay.
No, so Hannibal, I really enjoyed that show as well. And also one of my favorite chefs in the world, Jose Andres, did all the food art of making all of Hannibal's cannibal cooking look so divine and delicious. And that was a show I could not eat during or after. I was constantly on the verge of retching every time, but I still haven't even watched the final season of Hannibal. It's like I'm saving it for when I'm ready at some point. It's a lot. Yeah. So this show is a little hard for me on that level.
Well, yeah, I mean, just like in the first episode alone, I screamed when the girl came out of the plane, kind of burned after all that. They moved the plane part off the guy's leg.
Yeah.
And then again when she chopped it. And then it's just like all these. And then finally at the the part where Misty, I guess everybody knows there's spoiler alerts going to be through this whole thing.
It's the first 2 episodes anyways. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But her ripping their black box or their transmitter, that to me was just
was so chilling.
Yeah, that was so chilling.
That was just, and such when you need the instruction of, what the character don't show, tell. Or no, don't tell, show. Sorry, got that backwards. Boy. I can't imagine anything more vivid than that.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible. Just the final grip of her ripping the wires out. And the whole time I was like, oh, Misty, don't. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Yeah. It's weirdly enough, I did a little shriek of excitement when I saw the 2400 Kingsway Motel.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because how long did it take you to realize it was shot in Vancouver?
I knew it was.
Yeah, I vaguely knew it was, but it was that motel. When we see the outside of the motel, I was just like, "Yay! For sure, it's happening."
I recognized parts of industrial Richmond that they were driving around, the strip malls and stuff.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
the romantic strip malls of Richmond, as they're usually known. Was that where that hotel was too?
I'm not sure about the hotel, but when she's driving around to go to the hotel, she's driving through industrial Richmond, around the IKEA and stuff.
Right. Yeah, because I saw a woggly guy.
Because she goes to the furniture. She goes to the furniture store first.
Yeah,
and that is in the furniture store part of Richmond.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna go back and look again. I just trust you.
I love the performances in this show. Honestly, the casting is quite incredible. Yes. Both teenage versions and 40+ year versions. It's incredible. They're great.
Yeah. I did also scream when I saw Juliette Lewis because I didn't realize she was in it. Yeah, it's great. She's great in this.
Christina Ricci, fantastic. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge fan of Melanie Linsky. I think she's wonderful. And
who is she playing?
She's playing Shauna.
Oh yeah. No, I just saw her play the wife in Leonardo DiCaprio's wife in Don't Look Up.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. Nice. I just love her so much. Mm-hmm. I also think her character so far is a little bit removed from everything. But Tawny Cypress as Thaisa I love seeing Tawny Cypress in things. And one, she's so beautiful, but also two, whatever's happening with her and her son. Also, the woman who plays her wife is wonderful as well. But the way that they're folding in her son, and whatever is happening to him with the woman who's apparently outside watching him from the tree. That little boy is so good. And it's chilling, and I don't know where it's gonna go. But I just love watching Connie Cypress act.
Well, we're not stuck. I mean, it's good, but it is a mystery as well, because we don't know how many people have survived. We don't know for sure finally what happened. And who knows, whoever this person is outside the tree, it could be one of the people that was on that plane.
Yeah, like I can't figure out if this is like, so you know how like Lost kind of played with like, well, I mean a lot of stuff. I didn't watch all of Lost. I watched like a little bit here and there.
I sadly did watch all of Lost, and I have
did
higher
you?
expectations of this show than what happened at the end of Lost. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Did you ever watch Lost, AG?
No.
Okay. Like I like the sort of like the sci-fi elements, I guess, of Lost. Like I can't figure out yet whether there's going to be like a sci-fi component really, or like a mythology to Yellowjackets.
But there is that symbol that was on the tree.
There's the symbol, but I just wasn't really sure yet what that symbol was, or if that
symbol was there before they arrived.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. Okay.
And then it's on the postcards.
So then we do have some kind of mythology thing. Mm-hmm. All right. I mean, I just hope they do it all better than Lost, though. I really do.
Oh, well, it won't be hard to do anything better than Lost. That's sure.
True.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah. 10 episodes, though, you say, hey?
I'm pretty sure, because it just wrapped up this past week, and people are freaking out about the finale, the season finale, and it's already been renewed for season 2. So we know that, like, they're...
Yeah. So it's not fully done yet.
No. But, like, people, like... I mean, it's kind of one of the reasons I'm excited that we're talking about it this week, because, I mean, I know that there is a lot to be said for sort of the delayed gratification of watching weekly now instead of binging. But I enjoy sort of like waiting until something's closer to the end. So if I do really like it, I can continue.
Yeah.
So there are 10 episodes.
10! Yeah. Oh my God, I've got a long way of misery to go. Holy cow.
We had to really talk Grandma into watching the first episode with us. She was just like, I'm not going to like it. I don't want to watch it. And I was like, Graham, I'm sorry. I'm making you watch the first 20 minutes. If you don't like it, you can bow out. It's fine. And she stuck it through the entire first one. And then she was like, all right. And then we did episode 2. And now she's like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah. I'm in. I know I'm in now. And I was thinking of not being in, but I'm in.
But yeah, I find this especially interesting because, like, you know, we were talking about the reason the writers, like, kind of the inspiration for it is the idea that like women would never do Lord of the Flies because, you know, they're not like as violent as a group of men or whatever would be. So I do find this kind of this take on like what would happen if teenage girls did a Lord of the Flies, like how it would be their kind of own specific type of hell.
But these are a very specific group of girls too, right? These are competitive athletes.
Yeah.
I think that is definitely a big difference for the show. And I think that was specific, I'm guessing.
But not Misty.
Well, no, she's competitive in her own weird way.
That's true. She might be the most competitive person amongst them.
Yeah, she's got to be the best helper, right? She's got to be the one that can do things the fastest and take care of everyone the best. So there's a certain competition, even if she's the only one she's fighting against.
Yeah, like I like the idea that someone says that people are like, oh, there's no way this would happen if it was girls, and then and then a bunch of women are like, yeah, it would, and it would happen harder and different. And and then they create this show that you're like, yeah, like honestly, like they're there was some, again, not super generalizations, but like this idea that, you know, these old like rhymes of like girls are sugar and spice or whatever, like it's just, like, I mean, the complexity, like so many people want to continue to deny the complexity of women and girls, and, you know, this idea that competition and hierarchy are sort of more, you know, more sort of male macho characteristics. And I don't think that's true. I mean, I think like competition and hierarchy are kind of embedded in like, you know, our society. Thanks colonization and capitalism. Cool.
Yeah,
Yo,
exactly.
high five, bros. We're all affected by it, you know? Like, and especially like the internalized sexism and stuff like that. And like, especially like, I think about like who I was in 1996 versus who I am now in 2021. Like, you know,
You're not listening to the Smashing Pumpkins anymore. Is that what you're saying?
I am not.
Okay.
I am not.
I've got that.
Yeah, I like, it's not that I hate the Smashing Pumpkins, but I would say that like the person I still feel like maybe, you know, closer to out of say a Courtney Love, Smashing Pumpkins, Liz Phair trifecta is going to be like Liz Phair and Courtney. You know what I mean? Like
the soundtrack to this show is
so
amazing.
Good. Yeah, it's
Killer.
so much fun. So much fun.
I love it. They put like a 50 track Spotify soundtrack out, and like the first song is Uninvited, Alanis Morissette, which is like one of my favorite Alanis songs. Then it's Smashing Pumpkins, then Liz Phair, then Snow, then Salt and Pepper.
But then like honestly, hearing whole Miss World song, I haven't heard that in so long.
I want to sing right now.
It's
so
so
bad.
good. It's so good.
So bad, but I can't.
I actually started singing along with the show, like when that was happening.
Me too. Yeah.
God, that song was good. Was that song though 1994 and not 1996? Am I?
Well, so they're just trying for the period, right?
I
mean,
know.
that
I just
specifically.
I understand.
Okay.
I'm just a little, you know. Look, you have your questions about dried pelts. I have my questions about
I'm just impressed. I do not think you could leave me out in the woods. I would start making garments. I just don't see that.
Oh, I think,
but
I think
I know
you could.
winter is coming, to quote another TV show. So I do know that the pelts will be necessary. It's just that I have a hard time just imagining being able to do that. That's all.
I think you could do it. And honestly,
Well,
I'm going
thank
to
you.
guess. I'm going to guess right now that really it's probably Misty is the one who has made all the pelts for everyone. like maybe Shauna ends up obviously being able to sort of gut and depelt, but
So has someone taken a class in this? Like, how do you sew up the pieces together and then make the...
you just figure out, I mean...
Okay, I'm impressed. I'm sure it'll all come out. It's 10 episodes. You got to put a lot of stuff in there.
I'm sure you'll find out eventually.
Yeah.
I do think that, like, you know, you figure stuff out when you have to. And this is a case of, like, they have no choice. They have to.
Oh, absolutely. And I know, like, I mean, they're in their summer clothes. And we know they were there for 19 months.
19 months.
That's
It's such
so
a
long.
specific amount of time.
It is.
Oh my God. When they said 19 months, I was just like, oh. But yeah, 100% of the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes by critics are positive. And I just want to, there's just one I want to, Libby Hill wrote a great review for IndieWire called Yellowjackets is brutal, brooding, and completely validates the experiences of young women. And I really like that as a headline. And I'm just going to read like very briefly. There are TV shows you didn't realize you need in your life until they arrive. Shows that defy expectations and deliver insights in a fashion that could never have been anticipated by simply reading a synopsis. These series often struggle to find their audience, with individuals discovering them only after the fact. And while it's wonderful that art can touch people long after its completion, delayed appreciation, particularly when it comes to television, can be a dream killer. So Libby's really celebrating the fact that like the people who have watched Yellowjackets right now know that it's great and are celebrating it like loudly as they can to anybody who will listen.
Who recommended it on the podcast? Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say like thanks to Sarah from Warriors, Bards, and Brews for alerting us to. They tweeted us about it and asked if we were watching.
Oh, okay, but I thought someone was on our podcast and suggested it as one of their recommendations.
Oh, Sanera, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, Sanera recommended it as well.
Yeah. Credit.
Yeah, I think Sarah from Warriors, Bards, and Brews, they had recommended it, I think last November when it first started, because like them and their spouse Chloe, they love this show. This show has like so much great stuff happening. They have, it's obviously like 90s content and contemporary content. They have queer representation. They have Black leads. They have, a woman who is not, actually like a size 14 or 16. So there's like a little bit of like body diversity too. Like the show has a lot of things going on representation wise in its favor that is like very exciting to see people, with just like a little bit of representation across the board. It's very nice.
Yes.
Agreed. All of the above.
I'm also just one more I want to read. In The Atlantic, Shirley Lee writes, "In this stew of hormones, gore, and mordant farce, the series captures the way that growing out of girlhood is an inherently brutal and absurd process." I really don't know much of Shirley Lee's writing, but I want to send her just like a bouquet of flowers. I don't know, like maybe like a friendship candle, because I just feel really seen in this description.
But can you like
brutality?
Can you imagine for a second that like something, even if it was just like a fraction as traumatic as this, happened to you and a bunch of like random people you were on a team with in high school, and you were just bound by it for the rest of your lives? Like, can you imagine?
Yeah. Most people just I was in West Side Story with this group, and man, it was crazy. The cast party, I was so embarrassed, and that's the general thing.
No, I know. Like this like, and to have like so much mystery embedded in it as well, like to have like the secret cell phones that like are only used to contact each other, and to have like the files, and like to have this reporter kind of like coming around who, I don't know if they're really a reporter or not yet, but like whatever. And to I think it was, and I think it's like that description of hormones, gore, and mordant farce. I've never seen mordant farce as a descriptor, I don't think. And I think that might be my genre, Lisa. Like this, like, like the Heathers thing, like mordant farce might be my genre. Like,
I think that's fair to say. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We discovered something today.
Shirley Lee answered a question about myself that I didn't know I had, and I just really want to shout out to Shirley Lee.
Well, like it was, like you said in the other review, that the show comes around that you didn't know you needed.
Yeah, this wasn't gonna. I honestly, after watching Station 11 last week, I was just like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we all remember our conversation a little bit last week. Although sometimes it just goes in one ear and out the other, frankly, for me. I don't know how it is for you guys. Do you remember anything you said ever? No, seriously. But do you have people occasionally just be like, you know what you said there? And I'm like, no, I have no idea.
No. Do you remember everything you've ever said in conversation? God, no. Probably not. Yeah.
We talk a lot. Like, can you imagine being able to like archive all that in our little noggins?
Don't do it. It's not healthy.
No, good. yeah, I do remember like us talking about Station 11 last week and just all of us like kind of being pretty deep in our frayed feelings about it, and our like little raw nerve ends. And I was feeling a little weary that the Yellowjackets would be similar, but it's that mordant farce that makes me feel so alive.
Okay.
I know. I'm sorry.
There we go. I'm good. I'm not. I can't judge you because I know as soon as I turn off this or finish our podcast, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch an episode or two before I go to sleep, which will not be a good idea, but I'm going to do it.
Oh, terrible idea.
So I don't think we have to ask this, but do you think it pops?
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
Yes.
It's like it's like 1,000 bees in a balloon just popping all over the place.
Wow. Yeah, agree. All of that. Yeah, no, I think it's compelling. I can't wait. I'm very happy to know that people are excited about the finale. So that tells me that it's going somewhere. And I am, like I said, as soon as we press stop record, I'm heading over there and I'm watching.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely. We also love to leave our episodes on something we recommend. So, AG, do you want to go first?
Yes. So a few days ago, I finally watched this film called Girls Just Want to Have Fun, starring Sarah Jessica Parker and Helen Hunt.
Yes.
From 1985.
For so long. I'm so glad you watched it.
Why haven't we done it on the podcast yet?
I have talked about it for the podcast, but it wasn't, you couldn't watch it anywhere before. Like
I watched it on Amazon.
Yeah,
Prime,
but I think it has circulated in there now. But
Yeah.
yes. Lisa, have you ever watched it?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God.
This is genre. The genre it's in is romantic comedy dance film.
Oh, okay. Say no more. I'm in.
It's great.
Basically, these two best friends are auditioning to be cast in this dance TV show. And yeah, they're in high school, and that's basically the plot of the whole movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll watch it. No problem.
I'm so glad. I can't wait to talk about this movie with you two. It's going to be great.
Yes.
It's going to be great. Also, Shannon Doherty's in it too.
Yes.
Sarah Jessica Parker, Helen Hunt, and Shannon Doherty.
I'm ready for that.
So very young.
Oh, she's a baby
She's
in
just
it.
a baby.
Yeah. Lisa, what about you?
So on Gem, I just started watching the British mockumentary sitcom called People Just Do Nothing, which is
What a
pretty
great
funny.
headline.
It is pretty funny. It is like The Office and kind of Trailer Park Boys, only it's set in a pirate radio station in England with this crew of idiots. And
Perfect.
It's very, very funny, and it's on Gem. So apparently a huge hit in the UK. I'm late to the party. It said that in 2017, I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page, the show won a BAFTA for the best scripted comedy.
Wow, cool.
So there you go. So yeah, and they have their pirate radio station called Corrupt FM, and that's corrupt with a K.
Of course it is.
So, you know.
Unquestionably corrupt with a K. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Yeah. I am going to recommend friend of the podcast, Vivek Shreya, has her new book came out on January 4th. It's called People Change. And with that book, she did this like really great essay for CBC Arts called 20 Lessons Vivek Shreya Has Learned in 20 Years of Making Art. And it's so good. You know, Vivek has been making art, as she says, for 20 years. She's been doing music and writing and film and photography and modeling, and she's just done so much of it. And she, you know, just there are very few people who have the exact same art journey. Everyone's is a little bit individual, but there are lessons to always be gleaned from people who are like generous enough to share them. And so I highly recommend reading Vivek's 20 lessons that she's learned in 20 years of making art. And that's on CBC Arts.
Excellent.
Sounds amazing.
I am really delighted. I can't wait to read her new book. It's on my list for my birthday, and I'm hoping that I receive it.
Oh yeah,
that's not a hint. That's not a hint to you guys. I was just like letting you know that that's where that's at. And normally I would have already ordered Vivek's book or received it, but I'm trying to like be good about like letting people letting there be like some little gifts that people can get from me, so that like I'm not one of those people who's just like, you want to buy me a present, but I won't let you, you know?
That's big of you.
Is it? It sounded really egotistical once I said it out loud.
Sure, yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah, no.
Well, also, happy birthday week.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes. Happy birthday week. I guess you're not, or what are you going to do?
Well, remote birthday, third year in a row. Pretty excited. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep it remote. I don't feel comfortable getting together with anyone.
No, who does?
So, I'm just gonna like hang out with like, you know, a few different little small groups of people online, and that's fine. Like, you know, I'm cool with that. My official birthday is, I guess it'll be the day before this comes out. So, I'm, you know, pretty excited about that. And I do love birthday week. I got my first birthday week gift today. It's a 3 small perfume solids. They're in the mail, and I saw the little, you know, order confirmation, and I'm very excited about them.
Excellent.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yay.
It'll be so fun to try out new scents just for me. No one else will smell them except me.
Oh, yeah. There's that, too.
No, I like that, actually. I'm trying to make sure that I take pleasure in myself. Again, real 20... No, that wasn't code for masturbation. That's
yeah, okay. I was going to say that's more sharing. More sharing for everybody.
I mean, I do encourage everyone to just, like, wildly masturbate. So, you know, my 2022
wish. You heard that here first. Probably not first.
2022 wish for everyone.
Yeah.
Take pleasure in yourself this year and whatever that means to you. All right. Thanks,
Well, it's
friends.
about time to wrap it up.
Yeah, it sure is. I'll just say thank you to Andrea Gin for taking this on. Every week a little extra comes out, and I wonder if she goes, why? I was just producing before, and now I'm co-hosting, and I don't know how that happened. I guess we'll just chalk it up to that crazy pandemic.
It's my favorite thing that's come out of the pandemic, so pretty
Well, yeah,
excited.
there had to be something good. So yeah,
There had to be something good.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. You can hang out with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You could rate us and review us 5 stars.
5
on iTunes.
stars. That's a real... Thanks, everyone.
Bye.